Okay, good morning, everyone. How are you doing today? Chitti, good morning. Good morning, online. Hope everyone are doing good. Yes, I'm also doing good. Thanks for asking. Okay, so let's jump on. So what did we discuss in our last class? Huh? Okay, so S3 features, correct? Okay, so what are the topics we have learned? We discuss about, okay, now let's have a quick shootout round. So is it possible to, guys, is it possible to move the objects from one storage class to another storage class? Yes. If you want to do it automatically, what is the concept you should use? LCM, life cycle management. In life cycle management, what do we create? We create rules. Okay. And then is it possible to set up your logs for your bucket? Is it possible to enable the logs for your bucket? Yes. What is that called? Server access logs. Which one? Server access logs. Good. And also we discuss about object lock and also object level logging in CloudTrail. And also we discuss about CORS. So what is CORS? Cross origin resource sharing. So we discuss about that, and then we discuss about CRR and SRR, cross region replication, same region replication. And also we discussed about encryption, right? So encryption can be done in two ways. What are those two ways? In-transit encryption and data at rest encryption. So in-transit encryption can be done using HTTPS. So how do you set up HTTPS in AWS? Using which service? ACM, Amazon Certificate Manager. And data at rest, how do you achieve it? Using KMS. And then also we discuss about S3 encryptions, right? So mainly three types. What are those? Server-side encryption, client-side encryption, in-transit encryption. In-transit can be done using HTTPS and client-side will be handled by the client. And then the first one is server-side encryption. So in server-side encryption, again, we have three things. What are those? SSC S3, SSC KMS, and SSC C. Which one is the most commonly used one? SSC S3. Very good. Which is completely managed by AWS. And then we discussed about consistency models, which you didn't like, right? Do you remember consistency model? S3 data consistency models. So read after write. What is that? Read after write consistency of puts of new objects. And second one, eventually consistency of overrides of puts and deletes. Very good. If you remember that, that's good. And then we discuss about pre-signed URLs. What is pre-signed URLs? Temporary URLs, right? So let's say if you want to generate a temporary URL and if you want to give temporary access to someone for a certain period of time, then you go for the pre-signed URL. And then also we discuss about transfer acceleration, that is billable. And also we discuss about ACLs. What is ACL? Access control less. So we discussed quite a lot on S3 already. There are two small topics left. Let's finish the topic and let's do the practicals on it. Okay, ma? Any questions still here? Online, if you have any questions. Okay. Can you please confirm? Can you see my screen and can you hear me well? So Let's talk about S3 requester pays. What is that? A requester pays. What is requester pays now? So now requesters in general, who will take care of the cost? Bucket owner only, no? Yes or no? If you put any objects inside your bucket, who will be taking care of the cost? Bucket owner only. Okay, so you created your own buckets and you're putting your own objects and someone is accessing that object, but still who need to pay that? Bucket owner needs to pay that. But there are few scenarios where bucket owner doesn't like to pay because someone is accessing it. And if other one, whoever is requesting the objects for you, whoever is accessing the objects in your bucket, if he wants to pay, not you, instead of you, if the requester wants to pay, then you can enable this concept called requester pays. As I said, so you can store any kind of files. Let's say, for example, in our previous company, what do we do is we have lots of weather data. What is that? Weather data. So if you want to if you want to travel on the ship, right, with the captain needs to check the weather, right, whether which place is proper or not. So they'll check the tides and everything. So weather data, how they do is they will be sharing some files to us. So let's say, for example, he's using S3 bucket, so we need that weather files, correct? So I am accessing those weather files. Bucket owner, that guy has to pay for that. No, we need to pay, right? So you pay it and then access those files. Similarly here also, not only this weather data, any kind of data, any backup files, any huge data, any data files, any kind of files, if requester wants to pay it, pay and use it, then go for the requester pays. But in general, who will pay this? Bucket owner will pay. But if bucket owner doesn't want to pay and requester wants to pay, then go for requester pays. So I'll write it for you here. In general, so bucket owner pay for all the storage and data transfer cost associated with their bucket. Right? With the requester pays buckets, the requester, instead of the bucket owner, pays the cost of the request and the data download from the bucket. So I clearly wrote it because later when I want to read, so you will get to know. So it will be helpful if you want to share the large data sets. And by the way, guys, the requester should be an AWS account guy only. Yes or no? Otherwise, how do they charge? Correct? You guys are accessing my bucket, my objects. You guys are accessing my objects. How do you get the bill then? Or how do I get the bill? So the requester should be AWS account guy. Definitely he need to access the object using AWS account so that the bill will be generated in his account. Okay. So the requester must be authenticated in AWS so that AWS knows where to charge in their AWS account. So remember, cannot be anonymous. So anonymous meaning, so without credentials, without AWS account, you cannot just directly access. No anonymous access should be there. Yes, correct. Only. Now everyone understood what is requester pays? Looks like many of you people are still in holiday mood, huh? Hmm. What did you do yesterday? Tell me honestly. Huh? Nothing, no? Simply watching movies or eating, sleeping. Huh? For that, we need holiday, Independence Day, sir. Huh? Yeah. You guys have his office. Yeah. We have offices, correct. Yeah. Oh, public holiday, no? Oh, US based. Correct. So some companies follow US calendar, not Indian calendar. Uh, okay. Clear? So do you remember we discussed about events in CloudWatch? So we catch EC2 events and then we did some activities, correct? Yes. So what do we do is, guys, here, if anything is happening in EC2, anyone stop, start, created volumes, created snapshots, something, anyone has done something on EC2, everything, all these events are recorded where? In which service? All the events are stored in which service? Event bridge. Which one? Event bridge. Remember event bridge? So we went to event bridge and we created a rule, no? Remember, we created rule saying that, hey, if this EC2 instance is in pending or launch state, I should receive a notification, or we send it to Lambda functions also, remember? So here that we did it for EC2. And if you want to have any notifications on S3, if someone has created a bucket, if someone had deleted a bucket, if someone had done the restoration of the object, if someone did a CRR cause any activity which is happening in S3, if you want to get a notification in S3 also, we can do using concept called S3 event notification. Was that S3 event notification? Simply how we did for EC2, similar for S3. Okay, let's say for example, I have my own bucket and you guys are uploading. If anyone are uploading if anyone are uploading objects in my bucket, and I should get a notification email, can do it using S3 event notification. Okay, now let's say for example, I created a bucket and I have asked all of you to upload only JPG images. Which one? JPG. But some people have uploading PNG images. Is that good? So how to control that? So I cannot control from your side because you keep on uploading PNG. But what I do is I create an event notification saying that anyone is uploading, I'll check the suffix. What is suffix? .jpg, .png. That's I check the suffix and an event get triggered. And can I route it to the targets? And I can convert this PNG to JPG automatically using Lambda function. Can I do that? Yes. I can do that. So if you want to do any kind of this kind of automation activities, if something has happened in S3, any activities happening in S3, if you're interested with any other activity, and if you want to do some automation or if you want to do some notification, go with S3 event notification. And remember, route to target will be happening only for we can route to SNS, correct? To get a notification. And can you send it to Lambda also to do some automations? Yes. And also you can send it to SQS also. What is SQS? Simple queue service. So don't worry about queue service now. Later we'll talk. So S3 events can be used in SNS, Lambda, and SQS. So that meaning if any event is happening in S3, you can send it to notification SNS, you can send it to Lambda also, you can send it to SQS also. Okay. Now, did we, in CRR concept, we learned about bulk operation. Remember? We discussed about bulk operation, no? So guys, what is a bulk operation? Generally, bulk, what is bulk operation? You are doing operation for the bulk of things, right? So let's say for example, I want to move all the objects from one storage class to another storage class, bulk operation. And if you want to copy all the objects from one bucket to another bucket, bulk operation. So if you want to do not for single object, if you want to do it for the bulk of the objects, there is a concept called S3 batch operation. What is that called? S3 batch operation. So perform bulk operations on existing S3 objects with a single request. Bulk operation. What are the things? Basically, modifying objects, information, okay? Copy objects between buckets, right? Encrypt, encrypt to, etc. So many things you can do. S3 batch operations. Now, is this clear? Online, is it clear, ma? Do you remember in S3, all the features that we are learning can be done for your entire bucket also, or can be done for your prefix also? Yes or no? For your subfolder also. So any operations, you create LCM rule, you create CRR rule, you create any rule. So you can do it for the entire bucket also, or you can do it for a particular subfolder also. Let's say you are maintaining only one bucket. Inside that bucket, you have so many different projects. For one project, you need the feature. For another project, you don't need that feature. So is it possible to apply for the entire bucket in this case? No, you can apply for individual subfolders. Okay. Next important thing here is S3 access points. What is that? S3 access points. Important. So what is that? Huh? What is that? I know. We are not talking about mathematics here, not pentagon. Consider that as bucket. Okay, I'm not your math teacher. Pentagon, hexagon. Huh? Okay, so consider that is a S3 bucket. So in S3 bucket, can I have prefixes? What is prefix? What is prefix? Subfolder. So can I have a subfolder called DevOps? Can I have a subfolder called developers? Can I have subfolder for sales guys like this? Assume, guys, see, assume I don't have multiple buckets. I have how many buckets? Single bucket. In single bucket, I have different prefixes. Now, I want only DevOps people to access DevOps subfolder. I want only developers to access developer subfolder. Similarly for sales. To do this, we need to write a bhayanak policy, We need to write a very big and complex policy you need to write. Yes or no? Hey, by the way, let's say, for example, you have your, okay, I'm the admin, for example. I created buckets for everyone. Ajay bucket, Vinod bucket, all kind of buckets I created. Normal bucket, not your own bucket, right? So normal buckets you have, right? So now, if Ajay has logged into the account, Ajay should be able to access only his bucket. Yes or no? Is it good to access other bucket? Is it good in your hostels? Is it good to use other bucket? No, you should use your own bucket. So here also in AWS, you should use your own bucket, not others bucket. You should have access to other bucket. No. So here also, when you log into the AWS account, Ajay can access his own bucket. Ajay cannot access Vinod's bucket or some other name's bucket. Understood? So if you want to do these granular things, what kind of permissions that we need to write? Managed inline. Inline policy we need to write. Remember? So does AWS is giving like this directly to give this kind of policies? No. These are all your own customized requirement. For that you need to write your own policy, right? So I'm not now talking about different buckets. In single bucket, I'm talking about different subfolders. So that meaning, is it complex query to write? I mean, complex policy that you write? Yes. So instead of writing these complex queries, why I'm saying queries, excuse me, writing policies, okay? Last night only I wrote some subquery, big one. So that's why. Okay. So we have single bucket. In single bucket, we have different subfolders. In order to give access, okay, now I have here, let's say, users. Who are the users I have here? I have DevOps users. Okay. And I have developer users. And I have sales users. Okay. So whenever they log in, they should be able to access only this. Whenever these people log in, they should be access only these things and this thing. So isn't it difficult to write a policy for this? It's not difficult, but just imagine I have only 3. If you have 50, it's very hard, right? So instead of that, AWS came up with the concept called S3 access point. For DevOps people, I create an access point. What do I create? I create a access point. So here you can create, instead of writing policy, you can create access point. Let's say, can I call it as DevOps access point? For this, developer access point, and then I create a sales access point. So I'll give these access points to these people. I'll give the access points to these people. They'll just access the access point, and this access point is attached to this. Yeah. Similarly, this here. So users will be accessing direct prefixes or access points? Access points. So it is easy to create an access points like this and give the allocations for the subfolders like this instead of writing a big, huge policy. Okay. Is it clear? Is this clear? So I'll say here, access points, write down, simplify security management for S3 buckets. Yes, instead of writing critical bucket policies, you can create access points to each prefix and give the DNS name to the users to access their respective folders in the bucket. No, Murali Krishna, directly folders. Access points can be public, that means can be accessed via internet, or private, right, within the VPC. Okay. D got access point. So access points can be created publicly also, or access points can be created in the private also. So if you create a private access point, is it possible to access that access point is nothing but a DNS name. You get a nasty URL, no? Similarly, you will get the nasty domain name. Okay, domain DNS name. That DNS name, if you create privately, can you access this from internet? No. So if you created access point public, then you can access through internet. You can give the access points to anyone. They can access their particular folder. Okay. An important certification question for you. By default, bucket is public or private? By default, bucket is public or private? Who said public? Huh? Some I heard public. Okay. In order not to get confused, I'll give you one small hint. In lifelong, you'll remember. Many of you people are staying in hostels, no? You have your own bucket? Yes, sir. You have your own bucket? Huh? Bucket undada. Okay. Generally, you'll have your own bucket, no? That bucket, ఏందా నీ bucket gola? Vinu. Okay. So generally, you have your own bucket. That bucket is public or private? Private. Your bucket only, no? For first day, it will be private. Second day, it will be public. Who someone will take away your bucket, because I was a hostel student, no? Right? I know those pain. Okay. So remember, by default, your bucket is yours only, not everyone's. That meaning by default, the bucket is private. Okay. Now tell me. You have your own bucket and you have your water inside. Water meaning here what? Objects. Okay, now that bucket is private. Whenever the bucket is private, your water is also private or not? It is private. Correct? Okay, that remember. So that meaning by default, your bucket is private and the objects are also private. But the very important twist here is, let's say your bucket is public. Your bucket is public. Can you share the objects like to everyone? Can you share your water to everyone? But your water is yours only, no? Yes or no? So that meaning your objects are still private only. Even though the bucket is public, the objects are private. So that meaning the default nature of object is private. Remember, very important, right? So, okay, now answer me, guys. By default, your bucket is private. Object is private. Whenever your bucket is public, your object is also private. Can you make it public if required or your objects? Yes. But by default, it is private. Clear now? Important certification questions. So write down. So by default, object nature is private. If you create a private bucket, by default, objects are also private. If you create a public. Okay. Nice. Clear? Everyone? Online, everyone clear? Okay, so these were the topics left from last class. So everyone understood? There are so many features in S3, but the thing is, it is up to you whether you want to use that feature or not. Is it mandatory to have everything based on the requirement? Right? So you're going for some hostel mess, you're paying 100 rupees. That means will you overload it? No, how much ever you want, you eat it. So don't think that I'm paying 100 rupees and I want to eat everything. Dhamal, your stomach will get buzzed, okay? So depend upon the requirement, you need to use the feature. Okay, clear? Should we do the practicals? Okay. Ready? Yeah. Ready? Yeah. Okay, so let's go to S3. S3 is global or regional? Global. So let's see whatever we have learned, everything we'll see here. Did you delete an elastic beanstalk? Huh? Bucket? There was a bucket? No. So how did you do that? Go to the bucket policy, delete the policy first, and then so you need to empty it first. So guys, those who have done the beanstalk practicals, you might have a bucket created automatically here. So delete that bucket. Okay, so now I am very fresh. Okay, see, this is the S3 console. So do you see this, guys? S3 is global. So it is not any region. So you cannot select any region here. Okay, now should we go and create a bucket? Ready? So with S3, there are no minimum fees. You only pay for what you have used. Prices are based on the location of, hey, by the way, remember this. How many regions are there in total? Approximately 27 we have learned. Okay. So in this 27, each and every region contains its own pricing. Let's say in Mumbai, the bucket, let's say you put 5 GB of data and let's say 10 rupees, for example. And in Ireland, is it 10 rupees? No, it will be a little bit different. So in other regions, it might be lower also, it might be higher also. Remember. So when this cost is depend upon the region. Remember. Okay. Fine. So let's go ahead and click on create bucket. So everyone see this, guys, how to create a bucket? Now I told you. Okay, this is the how you create a bucket. So let's go one by one. Bucket name. So what is a bucket name? 9 that might be taken for sure. So if you click on 9 AM bucket, if you click on create bucket, do you see bucket name already exists? That meaning my previous 9 AM people might have used it, and unfortunately they have not deleted it. Correct? No, that's why we are getting this issue. So that's a problem. Okay, so bucket names, I told you buckets names are universal and unique. So do you have any bucket in my account called 9 AM bucket? No. If someone have created somewhere, some people, do you able to create the same name? No. All your nasty names are also done. See, test bucket already exists. Tell me. My bucket already exists. Your bucket already exists. Okay, test one. Why you want my bucket? See? Ria's bucket. My bucket is safe. Okay. Okay, fine. So, okay, let's go. I call it as 9 AM bucket. So by default, this bucket is public or private? Private. So can I call it as private? Okay. Okay, private BKT. Okay. So that's why your name should be unique. The bucket name should be unique. So I call it as 9 AM bucket. Okay, 9 AM like this, 9 AM private bucket. Clear? Okay, so in which region you can have your bucket? In any region. So which region we should go? Mumbai. So I told you now, buckets can be created regional. Bucket has a regional, right? Buckets are regional. So you can create the buckets in any region if you want. So I'm going with the Mumbai. And copy settings from the existing bucket. Do you have any bucket to copy the already existing? No. So just leave it. Next is objects ownership. So did we learn about ACLs? What is ACLs? Access control list. So using ACLs, you can give permissions to others. So if you are this is your private bucket, no. So if it is private bucket, that meaning are you giving permission to others? So ACLs are completely disabled. That meaning pakka private bucket. Pakka private. So let's say you want to give access to others also, then go with the ACLs enable. So mostly when you go and create public bucket, then go for ACLs enable. So if you want to go with the private bucket, go with the ACLs disable. You got it? So as this is private bucket, should I go enable, disable? Disable. So that is recommended. So it is always recommended to create public buckets or private buckets? Private. Okay, now, is it clear? Object ownership, ACLs enable, disable. Okay, now coming to block public access settings for this bucket. So this is a public bucket or private? Private only. So private meaning we need to block all the public access, no? So you need to check it. If I uncheck, what will happen? This will become what bucket? Public bucket. So this is the concept. If you check this, private bucket, uncheck it, public bucket. So now check, uncheck. Check. By default, bucket versionings are enabled, disable. Do you see? Did we learn? Okay. Tags are fine. And by default, bucket encryptions are enabled or disabled? Enabled. Very good. In encryptions, we have learned this. By default, bucket encryptions are enabled. Do you see this? Which one? SS3, S3. If you want to KMS also, you can go with the KMS, but you need to give the key. So I'm going with the SSC S3. So, but if you don't want to, you can go ahead and then disable also. By default, it is enable. And so, do you see the object lock? Did we learn about object lock? So you can lock the object. Do you lock the object now? Not required. Go and disable it. So here, guys, if you want to create a bucket, what is, give the bucket name, give the region, ACLs disable if it is private bucket, check it, block all public access because it is private, and bucket versioning we'll talk later. So default encryption is there. That's it. And click on create bucket. Got it? Do you understand how to create a bucket? Should we go and create a public bucket now? Let's click on create bucket and call it as 9 a.m. public BKT. And should I create it in another region if required? Yes. Go with the Ireland. So and this time ACLs, this is public bucket, no? So I go and enable the ACLs. So guys, who is the object ownership? Object writer or owner? So owner should be preferred. Okay. And then check, uncheck. Uncheck this. And you are acknowledging that you are making it as public. That's it. And keep everything default and then create bucket. Do you all understand how to create public buckets and private buckets? Super. So now let's go for which bucket. Okay, do you see this here? So now I'm going for the private bucket. It is in, I told you, all the buckets you can see it in one console only, correct? See, this is in Mumbai and this is in Ireland. In EC2, is it possible to see all the different regions EC2 in one place? No. So, but in S3, you can see all the buckets in one place. And also, do you see the access? By seeing this, by seeing the bucket, you can see this bucket is public. Remember, in real time, no one will create a bucket with called public or private. For your purpose, learning purpose, I created like that. But in real time, will you create the public private buckets? So how do you identify which is public and private? Do you see access? Buckets and objects, not public. That meaning private bucket. Objects can be public. I created a public bucket, no? So by default, your objects are public or private? Public or private? Private only. That's why objects can be public. So if required, you can make the objects public. Good. So, and with this is the creation date. Okay, Nara? So should I go inside the private bucket now? I'm going inside the, okay, if you select it, copy content. Do you remember ARN? What is the full form of ARN? Amazon resource. Name a number. Remember, no? Number meaning? Slap. Huh? Very good. See, you slipper. Okay, so at least you remember, no? You know, don't have any confusion there. Very good. So if you want to have the ARN of this, guys, generally these ARNs are used in the policies. Correct? These ARNs are used in the policies. Whenever you are writing any bucket policy, then if you want to have a ARN for this, you can click on copy content. If you click on copy content, bucket ARN copied. So ARN, you know, right, how it look like. So if you want to paste it, that's how it look like. Okay. Empty, you know. Is it possible to delete the complete bucket without emptying your object? No. First, you need to, what you need to do? You need to empty the object. So pour out all the water and take your bucket. Okay. So, and then delete and create bucket. So let's go inside private bucket. So every bucket have the same options. What are the options? Read out. Objects, properties, permissions, metrics, management, access points. There is a question, sir. In real time, we create the bucket name with project name. It's good. It's recommended to create your bucket name with your project name. So it is, the naming convention can be anything. The only thing is you should understand the bucket. If you are handling the entire S3 and if you don't know which bucket is related to what, it is up to you know how to maintain your, let's say, for example, in your laptop, you have 1,000 movies. All 1,000 movies in different languages. Will you keep it in one single folder? You can, but managing is very difficult. So what you do, clearly create a subfolders, create it, name it, and the movie names also, you neatly write it, correct? Similarly, if you want to manage it properly, have the proper naming convention in your real time. Okay. So now let's go inside the objects first. So in objects, how many objects are there? 0. That means, do we have any objects here? No, I don't have any objects. Should we go and upload it? Should we go and upload it? Yes. Do you see upload? This also same. This also same. Guys, it's not the big one. How you are uploading your files in Google Drive. Similarly here also. Okay. No. What is this? Okay. So click on upload. So if you click on upload, either you drag and drop also will work fine. You can drag and drop, or you can click on add files. So for example, desktop, and I have image 1, image 2. Should I go and upload it? Select. Can you drag and drop also? Yes, you can drag and drop. Okay, I uploaded it, or you can add folder also. No, guys, you can add the complete folder also. Destination is this one. Destination details. Did we enable the versioning? No. So encryption is enabled. Object lock we have disabled. And remember, this object log can be enabled only at the time of creating the bucket. Later you cannot do it. Okay now. So now this is public bucket or private bucket? So private bucket meaning, are you giving access to any public access? So that's why it's completely ACLs are disabled. ACLs are disabled. So you cannot give permissions to anyone. So properties. Do you remember? Did we learn this? So see, there's so many. No, how much time we spent for this, right? So what is the default storage class? Standard frequently access. So the standard frequency data is critical. Data is critical or not? Yes, it is critical. Your data is available in all the availability zones or not? Yes, do you see availability zones is there? And Okay, so next did we learn about standard infrequently access? Okay, what is the minimum duration we have learned? What is the minimum size? Do you see this here? Huh? Is it okay? Now, without the theory that we have learned, I come here and directly show how to create a bucket. Do you able to remember all these things? Will you able to clear the certification? Will you able to answer your interview questions? So that's why that is the power of theory that we are learning. Okay, now. So, okay. For glacier, how many days? Glacier, 90 days. Deep glacier, 180 days. And for infrequently access, retrieval charges apply or not? See, per GB fees is apply. So you can go with the standard intelligent tire, one zone, glacier, deep glacier, reduced redundancy. So reduced redundancy is, and also do you see, if you go with standard IA, you need to access once a month only. So if you are accessing twice a day, try to say one weekly once also, will you go for infrequently access? No, if you go for infrequently access, what will happen? Double the cost because retrieval charges apply. Remember. So make sure when you are sure about your access pattern, then only properly select it. Otherwise, be careful while selecting it. You might thinking that to save the cost, but end of the day, you will get double the cost. So which one is the default one? Standard. So select the standard. Okay. That's all. Click on upload and click on close. Do you see I uploaded image 1 and image 2? Yes or no? So, and also can I delete it? Select this two and then delete it. So click on delete and it is asked for permanently delete. So should I go and delete it? Yes, this is how you delete. Close. Can I drag and drop this now? Okay, desktop, image 1, image 2, drag, drop. Click on, do we need to change all these things here? No need. So click on upload. Do you all understood how to upload the objects? Okay. So now select this. First one is copy S3 URI. Guys, URI meaning this URL is different. You know URL. You know URL. URI meaning this URI, we use it in CLI concept. Where do we use? CLI. So, okay, now I go inside this. Guys, copy URI, copy URL, download, open, delete. They're all very common things, correct? So I go inside it. This is how the URI look like. Okay. So S3 colon slash slash. So URI always start with what? S3 colon slash slash. So this URI we'll use it in where? Where do we use? In CLI. If you want to create a bucket, this is how you should use the URI. If you want to access the bucket, this is how you should use the URI. So ARN is fine. And then do you see the object URL? Did I told you that every object will have the URL? Yes, this is the URL. And did we postmortem this also? Right? Do you see HTTPS colon slash slash 9 a.m. private bucket dot S3 dot AP minus south minus 1 dot Amazon AWS.com slash image 1 dot page. By using this URL, can easily find out what is the bucket name, which service is this, in which region the bucket is created, and what is the object name. Okay, now if I open this, will this work? Will this work? Yes or no? Yes or no? Very good. It's no. It says access denied because the object is private and the bucket is also private. So don't expect this to work in your internet. Okay, na? Good. So that is copy URI, copy URL, object URL. Download. Can I download it? Yes. If we click on download, image 1 will get downloaded here. Okay. And then if you click on open, it opens. Guys, I'm directly opening it from the S3. That's why it open. But can I access the object URL in the internet? Will that work? That will not work. For your purpose, it is opening here. Okay. Delete. Can you create folder? What is this folder called? Subfolder only, no? Can I create a subfolder? What is this subfolder called? Prefix. So this test is a prefix. And also select this and go to actions. Can you download this? You can download shared with pre-signed URL. Do you remember pre-signed URL we learned? What is pre-signed URL? Temporary access, correct? Okay, now, by the way, do you see this object URL? I open the object URL. Will this work for me, Nana? Is this working? Access denied. But can I enable the pre-signed URL and give temporary access to others? Yes. Select this and how to do the pre-signed URL? Share with a pre-signed. Doesn't matter if your bucket is private also, if your bucket is public also. Shared pre-signed URL meaning the URL will be accessible by few one. So, okay, now see here. Now click on shared pre-signed URL. So guys, how much time this URL should be valid for? Let's say you take 10 minutes or 5 minutes. So can I put 5 minutes? Can you put in hours also? Yes, you can put it. Maximum how many hours? 12 hours. So I go for 5 minutes and click on create present URL. Do you see here? Copy present URL. I copied it and I pasted this. Does it work, my? Yes. Work, right? So this URL I will be sharing to only few persons. My object is still private, but I can share it through pre-signed URL. And this is valid for how many minutes? After 5 minutes, it get expired. I'll keep it like this only. After 5 minutes, I'll refresh it and see what will happen. Okay. Okay. Is it clear now? Pre-signed URL. You can calculate the total size of your bucket, copy. You can copy from one place to another place, move, right? You can rename the objects. Yes or no? Image one can rename to normal. Edit storage class. What is the default storage class? Standard frequently accessed. Can you change it to IA also? Yes, you can change it. Click on it and then change it whichever you want. Select it and then save. Okay. And then if you want to disable encryption, enable it. Edit metadata. And do you see this here? Make public using ACLs. Is it enable or grayed out? Why? Our bucket is private and ACLs we have enabled or disabled? Disabled. That's why it is disabled here. If it is public, if your bucket is public, this is the place where I make the object public. By default, all the objects are, let's consider your bucket is public. All your objects are public or private? Private. So if I want to make the object public, and this is how I need to make public using ACLs. I'll show you that. Create folder is fine. Do you all understood all these things? Options one by one. And here we have something called query with S3 select. Guys, this one will be used by the developers. So this one, let's say, for example, we have a Excel sheet, CSV files, or any huge files. Okay. Is it possible for you to go and read from that file? No. So if you click on query meaning you can query based on your requirement. Say, let's say, for example, if you have CSV format is nothing but Excel sheet. If you have a JSON, if you have a Apache Paraquet, right? And then you see here, you can write your SQL query and retrieve the results if required. So it's work like your Athena. Athena is separate service, but this also you can do it from your S3 also. Athena is for logs, but here it works for your CSV files, JSON files, Apache Paraquet files, right? And output, if you want it in CSV or JSON, however you want, you can. But you should know how to write an SQL query for this. Okay. So you can ignore it for now. Exactly, Venkatesh, correct. Nana, do you all understood all the options here in object section? Clear? Online, is it clear? Similarly, now we worked with private bucket. Should we go with the public bucket? And should I go and upload? Click on upload. Add files. Should I go and add image 3 and 4? Add and then upload. So this bucket is public or private? This is public bucket. So if I open this and I have the URL, this URL will work for me? It doesn't work because the object is still private. It doesn't work. So now how to make it work? Select this actions. Do you see it is grayed out now? No, it is enabled, right? Make public using ACL and then make public. Close. Now, if I go inside it, if I open, will it open now? And it opens. Okay. Is it clear, Nana? But now tell me, image 4 will it work for me? It will not work because I have enabled public access only to image 3. So whichever in your real time, whichever object that you want to make it public, make it public. Otherwise, keep it private. So let's say if you have 100 objects to make it public, can you select all? You can select all, you can make it public. Clear? Very good. So that is the difference between public buckets and then private buckets. That there is a question. What is the main of URI? We already told. I already know. What is the purpose of URI? It is used in the CLI. For the CLI purpose, we use it. Clear enough? Creating private, public buckets and private buckets. Everyone? Now, okay. So go inside it. See here. Copy URI, URL. All these things are fine. Find objects by prefix. This is just like searching it. In real time, you might be having 5 terabytes of huge buckets will be there. And it is very hard to find out, no, where is my object? You can go and search it here. It is search box. Do we have anything after the search box here? Do we have anything? Yes or no? Clearly see, after the text box, do we have anything here in empty space? No, everything is in empty space. Do we have empty space here? Everything is in empty space. Now, let's go and see here. Okay. Now, let's go and see on versioning. Okay. Any question? Oh, what are you talking about? Any doubt? So when you're doing like this in front of me, I'll think you might have one question, or you're talking about me, or you didn't understood. So I need to know these 3 things, right? So not good. Okay. If you have questions, ask me. Don't talk each other because it get diverted unnecessary for me. Okay. So now let's work on versioning. Let's work on versioning. So versioning can be enabled for your public bucket also, and you can enable for your private bucket. Versioning is basically inside the bucket, correct? It's like a backup. You can enable the versioning for your public also, for your private also. Should we go and create it now? Let's click on create bucket. Let's say, for example, 9 a.m. version bucket. So I'll put it in Mumbai. Okay. So ACLs enable, disable. Disable, because doesn't matter if it is public also, private also, doesn't matter. So guys, maximum go with the buckets as private only. Until there is a requirement, go for public. Otherwise, maximum 99% your bucket should be private only. So go with the private and block all. And bucket versioning, what I do? Enable, bucket enable. So let's go ahead and then create bucket. Okay, now I created the version bucket. I went inside it. Do you see this guys here? After this text box, do you see this here? Show versions. So this is what I was, that's the reason why I was asking, do you able to see anything here before? So because for your normal bucket, do we have these show versions? No. Whenever you enable the versioning, then you get this option show versions. That's the difference between normal bucket and then version bucket. Understood? Okay. So now, should we go and try to upload some files here? Okay, now let's go and upload. So can you, I'll drag and drop also is fine. So I drag and drop, upload. Guys, see here now. I uploaded it, no? So if I click on show versions, how many versions will be there for me? Only one. Hey, this is two, they're two different. I'm asking for one single, one single, only one version will be there. So how many versions? There are two files. How many versions will be there? Two files will be there. Do you see this? Two files. So now I off it. So now I'll try to upload image one. I'll see here. Tell me. Hey, both are same only, Srikant. If you upload image also, if you upload your notepad also, both are same or not? So okay, let's say for example, I see. Okay, there is a maintenance, no? Okay. So let's say for example, I open this and upload. So he need a txt file. Okay. This txt file, no? So now I go and modify the txt file. Assume that I have modified. So do I need to modify that also now? Not required. Okay. So now I'm uploading image one and maintenance these two. See how many times I'm uploading. Okay. How many times? One time. Next. This is the second time. And this is the third time. So I haven't modified, but pretended that I have modified it and upload how many times? 3 times I have uploaded. 3 times plus your latest file will be there. So total how many? 4. Should we go and see the versions now? Show versions. And do you see this here? No, see this image one. This is your latest. Inside this, how many are there? 1, 2, 3. You have 3 versions plus a latest file. Come down. Did I upload anything on image 2? No. So that means there is no version for it. And maintenance also, I uploaded 3 times. So 3 versions are there. So can I anytime go and download this? Did we learn that versioning files can be downloaded? Yes. Do you all understood? How to see the versioning files and all? Now, all of a sudden, what I do is I deleted image 1. I deleted the image 1. Is it possible for me to restore? So what marker is applied? Delete marker, right? So if I click on show versions, and for image 1, what marker is applied? Delete marker. So whenever you see delete marker here, that meaning your original object is gone. Okay. So now how do I restore it back? Yes. Select that. And is it possible to download the delete marker? Did we learn that also? Do you see this here? Download is grayed out. Because why I specifically said is, in previous version of S3, the download was enabled. But if I click on download, it will not download. Now they have changed all these things. Okay, now I go and delete the delete marker. Delete it. Delete it. Delete it. So now if I go back, should I see my image 1 now? Image 1 is back. So like this, if I delete all, okay, let's say for example, I delete everything. Someone Pusuk come here and then stupid fellow Deleted everything in my object, in my bucket, production bucket. If there is no versioning, can I get it back? If I cried it 100 minutes also, my objects will not come back, because you are not a proactive guy, right? You are not a proactive guy, that you have not enabled the versioning, right? After that, kalaka pattukunte em labham, right? Similarly here also. Okay, now everything is done. So now I click on show versions, and do you see this delete marker? I select the delete marker, image to delete marker, and maintenance delete marker, and delete. Close. If I do you see all my objects are back? Okay, guys, but I don't want the latest version, but I want the old version. So can you go and you cannot directly restore the old version. What you need to do? Yes, download it and then upload it back. Got it? Clear? Everyone. So now I have I have enabled the version. Is it possible to disable the versioning? Is it to disable the versioning or suspend the versioning? Suspend the versioning. Should we go and suspend it? And let's see. So to go and suspend, you need to go to properties. Go to properties, and then here, guys, there is a certification question here. See, bucket versioning, you can edit it. Now tell me, in your real time, you are maintaining this bucket, which is very, very important. You have versioning inside it. Can your junior or someone can go and immediately suspend the versioning for this? You should not do. But is that possibility that he can go and suspend it? Is that good? For that reason, what you can do is you can enable MFA for this. So it is an additional layer of security for your versioning settings. So no one should come and just like that and suspend it. It's not good. For that, what you need to do is see an additional layer of security that require MFA for changing bucket versioning settings and permanently delete object versions. So is it good to delete your object versions in the backend? So someone can go and delete your old versions also, no? Is that good or bad? It's really bad. So if you want to stop all those things, you can set up a MFA. So this is a certification question. And also, this will be done only through CLI. I mean, programmatically, you can do it. Okay. So guys, take this in your notes. Very important. Write down. So put it as bucket version settings. We can enable an additional. We don't talk about REST APIs concept. REST APIs are through your code. Developers will do it. Okay, Nana? Done? Okay, see here. So I click on edit. Okay, I click on edit. Should we go and if I click on edit, do we have disable concept or suspend concept? Suspend. So should we go and suspend it? Click on suspend. But remember, whenever you suspend the version, your existing objects has any impact? No. Right? See here. Click on suspend and I acknowledge it. So guys, existing objects in your bucket do not change. We learned this already. So now I click on save changes. See here. So guys, now important. See here, guys. Now in my version bucket, what is my status of my version? Enabled or suspended? So should I go and upload now? Upload image 3. Guys, if I upload image 3, I have uploaded image 3. If I upload image 3, latest version will be there in the backend. But if I upload multiple times, see, I uploaded multiple times here, image 3. Do you see any versionings there? Guys, do you see any versionings? In image 3, I'm uploading it again and again. See, 3 times I'm uploading it, 2 times I uploaded. And if I click on show versions for image 3, do you see any versioning? Because your versioning is suspended. Your versioning is suspended. So now, if you disable MFA, no, you cannot do it. That's in, yes, you can suspend it. Yes, you can do that, Anil Kumar. So now image 3, we have it, right? But do we have the latest version? This is the latest version. Let's say, for example, now I went and then deleted image 3. I went deleted image 3. Guys, image 3 got deleted. Can I restore it? Can I restore it? Delete marker is applied. Delete marker is applied. See, for image 3, delete marker is applied. But if I go and delete this, you cannot restore it. So go back and image 3 is lost. Because you suspended the versioning. You purposefully suspended the versioning and you cannot expect the restorations. Now, what is the state of the versioning? Suspended only, no? And now I went and deleted maintenance.txt file. Can I restore this? Guys, I deleted maintenance. Can I restore that? Answer is yes or no? Yes. So click it and then delete marker is there. Select it, delete it. And then see here, my maintenance.txt is fine. Because I told you existing objects doesn't have any impact. Clear? Do you understand about how versions concept? Now, what you do, okay, I'll give you one more last options here. Now it is suspended, no? This tell me, okay? Image 4, I'm uploading it. Now versioning is suspended state. Version 4 is enabled. Now I went and enable the versioning. I went and enable it. Okay, na? I went and enable the version. Now, image 4 was uploaded in suspended state. Yes or no? Now I delete this image 4. Now tell me, can I restore that image 4 or not? Huh? Yes or no? Yes. But at the moment, what you have? Then? So versioning will, okay, I don't tell. Let's see. Huh? So which one? Image 4. Delete. Do you see now? Ready? Image. Image 4 is back because versioning will take the priority. Versioning will take the priority. This is a certification question. Okay. So that is the maximum game I played, but you can do n number of permutations and combinations. Delete that, upload it, suspend it, versioning. You can do whatever you want. You can do it. Is it clear on the versioning part, everyone? Clear? They named it at like that, Srikant. We cannot do anything there. Okay, so guys, do you see this here? Everyone, in bucket versioning, priority meaning. Reddy Prasanna. Importance. Yes. Mundu. What is it called? Telugu? First preference. Yes. Okay. So guys, here, anytime can you go and disable the encryption? Anytime can you go and enable the disable encryption? Yes. I'll talk about all these things tomorrow. But can you give me 5 more minutes? Okay. Because I have the set of tasks for you already. That's the reason. See guys, here, server access login. Do you remember server access login? What is the server access login? Okay. If you want to see the logs, if you want to enable the logs for your bucket, enable it. So do you see here? Nanda Kishore said something. You can read that, Reddy Prasanna. Okay, do you see this? Can we go and enable the logs? Yes or no? Click on edit and then simply enable it. But I told you, is it good to have the logs in the same bucket or separate bucket? So can you create a separate bucket quickly and enable the logs? Yes, click on create bucket and call it as 9 a.m. private. Okay, 9 a.m. private logs. Okay. And then disable this is fine. And then click on create. Now see here. I go to version bucket and can I enable the logs now? Yes. Go here and then do you see server access login? Edit it and then enable it. In which bucket? Private logs. That's it. Save it. So whoever is accessing your version bucket here, all the logs will be generated into that logs bucket. And that's how you enable it. And then, I'll come to all these points later. Okay. Event notification. Remember event notification? Okay. See here, click on create event notification. Do you see here? Guys, event name, give some name. Prefix. What is prefix? Subfolder. You want the notification to be happening for the entire bucket or your prefix? It's up to you. Okay. And here event type. See here event type. If you say all object create event, that meaning anything related to create that, create this, right? Put to post, copy, everything. Or do you understand what is event notification? So if anything is happening in the S3, okay, let's say for example, which event that you are interested. If someone is uploading any object, I should receive a notification. Uploading is nothing but, can I say the create event? If something is object removal, if someone is deleting the object, I should receive a notification. Select this. If someone is restoring it, someone is doing changes in ACLs, someone is selecting reduce, is it recommended to select RRS? No, if someone is selecting RRS, I should not receive a notification. And someone is doing anything related to replication, I should receive a notification. Anything related to life cycle, I should receive. Anything related to intelligent tire, I should receive a notification. So based on your interest, no, you need to select the event, correct? Select the event here. Let's say, for example, if someone has uploaded any objects, so I need to select this. I should receive a notification. So what you do, which is the destination you can select. Just now we learned today. What are the destinations we have? SNS, Lambda, SQS. Certification question, guys. SNS, Lambda, SQS. Okay, now, if someone has uploaded any object, I should receive a notification. Which is the destination I need to select? SNS, simple. Select SNS, and select your 9 a.m. best topic. But I know if I click on save changes, it will throw one error. I want that error you to fix it. Very easy. Very easy only. Okay. Click on save. And this is the error. So if we just take this and put it in our Google, first, second, third links only, or you just go through it, you will get the neat solution will be there. There is one change you need to do. Find it out. Okay. Okay. So that is one thing that I want to tell. Later, I'll talk about all these things. And guys, do you know what is static website hosting? What is static website hosting? You know what is static website? Okay, let's say mostly all the files will be in HTML files. What is that? HTML files. Guys, I'm telling you the problem first. Let's say I have a website. I have a website which is in HTML. If you want to go and deploy an EC2, how do you do? You will need to launch an EC2 instance. One is enough for high availability. No, you need to have minimum two, log in it, install web server, set it up, deploy it, secure it. After that, create a load balancer, create auto scaling. If you don't want to have any downtime, you need to do these much of things in EC2. Should I show you how to set up a website in 2 minutes? Huh? Ready? So if you want to, okay. By the way, this one, what do you remember this? Pre-signed URL. If I refresh, it's gone. I could have reached it after before itself, but I didn't get time. Okay. So guys, so you need to have a sample website with you, no? Should I show you how to download the sample website from internet? See, go to Google, sample HTML template download. See this. Go for the first link only, enough. Okay. No. Do you see so many templates are there, no? Tell me which template do you like? Which one I need to select? Huh? This one, huh? This one, huh? Huh? Oh, you like this baby or this baby? Okay, whichever baby you like. So download. Click on download. So it's downloading. See, it downloaded. No, open it. Okay. So cut it. Let's say, for example, put it here. What prime care? Huh? We need to unzip. No. Extract it. Okay. Do you see HTML file? Do you see all these files? So assume your developer has given this website to you. You know how to host it in S3? Let's do that. So click on create bucket. Bucket name, you can give any 9 a.m. Website demo. Should I give? And then AC. Okay, this website should be accessed by everyone or only you? Everyone. That meaning ACL disable, enable. Enable. Check, uncheck. Uncheck. Versioning, your wish, no? If you want to enable, enable. Otherwise, on it. Click on create bucket. Do you see this here? I go inside this website demo. And what I need to do? Yes, drag and drop. Click on upload. It is uploading. Guys, done. By default, all the objects are public or private. What I need to do for all this? Make it public. Select all and then make super. What you need to do now, go to properties. In the bottom, you see static website hosting. Edit, enable it. What is your file? Index.html. That is a landing file, no? That means that is a file you have it, no? Index. And then just say, do you see this URL? Open it and boom. You will see the how I did not that baby. You understand? Thank God I didn't select the other one. Otherwise, okay. No, I was just doing so. You all understood, guys? How to do? Now see. Okay, do you understood how I uploaded the how I set up static website hosting? Easy, no? Okay, now this is URL is nice URL or nasty URL. So if you want to make this URL nicely, Route 53, we do it. But do I need to worry about the performance of this website? Do I need to worry about the auto scaling of the website? 1 million, 2 millions also you get it to access website. Do I need to worry about it? No, because everything is completely managed by S3. Do you see this, guys? How easy to handle the website? Do you see how to deploy? You understood? Will you able to do this? Super. I'll stop it here. And then, and do you all understand? Do you all know how to delete the bucket also, guys? Yes or no? First, you need to empty. Click on empty and then say permanently delete. Empty it. And then do you see delete bucket configuration? Click on it and then give the bucket name. Give the bucket name. So this is how one by one you delete it. As I don't have time, so I'm just giving you the task. Okay. How much static website will cost depend upon the size and data transfer. How many people are accessing it? Okay, Nana, see here. Create private bucket. Will you able to do it? Create public bucket. Create bucket and play with the versioning. Suspend the versioning and do it. And even notification, I all told you to check it, the error. Enable the access logs. Set up website hosting. I gave the details also how to do it. Okay. And one exploring topic I have for you. If you go inside it, do you see on the last? Today we learned na access point. Guys, take the screenshot, by the way. Meanwhile, do you see the access point? It's very easy. I want you to go and create the access point. Simple. I'll show you the rest, everything. Right? I want you to go and explore. I already told you what is this access point, but what you need to do is you need to create the access points. Okay, na? Nice. So these are the tasks for today. Nice. And guys, lastly, okay. Delete all the buckets. Okay, Nana, clear? Any questions? Will you able to do this? Online? Super. Okay, there is question, sir. If the bucket, if I have a two bucket called bucket one, bucket two, and I have a config logs in bucket two. So can I get the one? Yes, correct, Akhil. Because you are giving you are setting, you are enabling the logs in bucket one, saying that to store it in bucket two. So that is possible. Take the slide. Super. Okay, so sorry I took few minutes extra. That's why please come on time. I'll start on time. Anyways, I'll be here at 9 exactly all the time. 5 minutes, this and that. Okay. So please. Okay. Can you give the final CC for today, please? CC with smile. Great. So that is all, guys, for today. And I'll see you tomorrow with the next continuation of this topic. Until then, take care. Bye bye. Have a nice day. See you tomorrow, guys. Bye.